Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Christian.
And this is our love story. So we've been dating for a little over 4 years. It'll be 5 years in December. But before we started dating, we were talking for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, so we've pretty much kind of been a thing for pretty much 5 years now. It's September, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the day.
So how did we meet? Well, his little brother joined my little brother's baseball team, which my dad had coached.
Mm-hmm.
And he was literally the first player on the team who had an older brother. And I had been waiting for that. And then slowly but surely we started talking a little bit more. And then we kind of started crushing on each other. And my grandma and aunt had made a comment about, oh, why don't you start dating him if you're so picky? He's really nice. You should start talking to him. And so
my grandma made a very similar comment right before that, and we didn't know it.
Yeah. Until we found out later. And then our moms always claimed to have orchestrated this, that once they met both of us, that they wanted us to start dating too.
Yeah.
So that's how we met.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I ever saw her was at one of the baseball games, and I saw her walking up. She claims to have seen me before that, but the first time I ever remember seeing her was down in LA, actually, for one of the games. So
Yeah. And then I'll let you say.
All right, our best memories of dating. So 5 years, we have a lot of memories. But one of the things that come to mind was for your 18th birthday when we went to Disneyland. When I went and visited you a couple times down when you were at school,
Mm-hmm.
went to the aquarium. We were with Hadley and Kenton, your sister and brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are probably my top two that stand out the most.
Yeah. One of my favorites is when we went, which is another baseball memory, but my whole brother's baseball team took a bus down to watch a Yankees game, and we
Yankees,
got to go.
Angels, and Anaheim.
Yeah, and so we got to go to that together, and then that was like our first our first like outing, like trip together out of Bakersfield, and so that was a really fun one for me. We got to be with each other the whole day, which was awesome because that wasn't a lot of that in high school. So.
And the Yankees won, so that's always good.
And the Yankees won.
Best memories of dating.
That
we
was
just
them,
did.
yeah.
Okay. Proposal story. So I guess I'll start this one.
Yeah, that's all.
I was trying to come up with ideas of what to do, what are our favorite places, and her family has a beach house in Cayucas, so I was like, that everyone loves, and that's some of her best memories are going there. So I thought, yeah, that would be a pretty good place, but how do I get her there without her knowing and realizing that I'm trying to propose? Because I was trying to keep it a secret, and she didn't know. Like, she knew it was coming, but she didn't know when. And so one of her friends suggested that for New Year's that we were all going. Was it New Year's, right?
New Year's, yeah.
Yeah, so for New Year's, her whole family was already going to the beach house, and they have a bunch of friends and stuff going. So I was like, oh, that'd be a perfect time. I could get there. I could invite my family. They could come up. She would never know. And so I had her friend just like text her, like, hey, let's do pictures this day on New Year's Eve. And so I got the ring, and I set it up, and we'd been planning it for over a month. So I think it was like the end of November when we started planning it, and I got the ring and everything. And that evening on New Year's Eve, we all went down to take pictures, and she was pretty oblivious, even though she's going to say differently. She was making comments walking down the whole time. It's like, wow, it would be so nice to be engaged right now. I wish I had a ring on, and like showing everybody, like, look, this is where my ring would go if I had one. But and I'm just sitting there trying to hide it in my jacket pocket, just walking around like, oh yeah, so that would be nice, wouldn't it? And so we went down there, we went onto the beach, and I just grabbed her hand, and I walked over to the beach, and I said a couple words, and I don't really almost remember what they are now. I was so nervous. And then I got down on a knee, and I proposed, and we all took pictures with her friends, and then went back to the house, and my family had met us there. And yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's obviously a different perspective because he knew everything was going on. And I like to think I'm pretty observant, but honestly, I didn't have that much of an idea. I knew, like you said, that it was going to happen sometime soon, but definitely not as soon as he had made it. But I didn't know he had the ring in November. I didn't know anything. I literally thought nothing of it. And then even when we were doing the photo shoot for New Year's, I thought, my friend loves to take pictures, so I really just thought she just wanted to take pictures on the beach.
Always planned.
Yeah. And I was making comments, and I was kind of being mean to him.
Yeah, she kind of was.
I was kind of being mean to him about, where's my ring? Why don't I have it yet?
Yeah, and I just had to keep my mouth shut the whole time.
Yeah, because he was avoiding, so like the whole month, basically the whole month of December, kind of avoiding that topic. Like, it would be like, oh, like, you'll find out when we're gonna, like, you'll find out soon when we're gonna get married, like, it'll be soon. And so he was leaving me like with a bunch of questions, and then so I just was kind of, I guess, pushing my hopes down.
Well, I felt really bad too, because she thought for sure that she was getting a ring on Christmas.
On Christmas, yeah.
And I don't think I told you that. I think you had convinced yourself that. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, you better wait and see. You better wait and see.
There was a bunch of different moments which I thought it was going to happen, but
And
I was wrong. And so that by the time that this happened, I was like, no, it's not going to happen this time. And then everybody started walking down the beach. My whole family was there, and my friend was recording everybody asking about, like, do you think she's going to say yes? The whole time we were at the beach, and I had
she
no
wasn't-
idea. And
well,
I thought I was going to know, but I didn't. And when we started walking on the beach and everybody kind of fell back, then I
She was
knew.
kind of like,
Then I was
what's
like,
happening?
what's going on?
And I think I grabbed her hand when I started
Yeah,
walking
you're
her
like,
down.
"Keep going."
She was like, what? Everyone's walking away. Where are we going?
Yeah, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I know what's happening now.
Yeah.
And then he got down on his knee, and I remember the only thing I remember him saying during the proposal was that, I love you more than anything, right? And that's the only thing I remember. And then obviously him asking if I would marry him, but he said other stuff, but
It wasn't that much.
yeah, I don't remember. It's kind of like, I think I was in such a state of shock because I thought I was going to know when he was doing it. So I thought in my head, I'll remember everything. And nope. It's kind of just except the important pieces. So
Yep. So it worked
Yeah.
out.
it did work out.
Are you excited about the wedding?
I am very excited about the wedding. What are you most excited about?
I'm excited to have all of our friends and family together. So we both have fairly large families, and for me, getting both of my parents' sides together is always a lot of fun, and it almost never happens because one of them lives in Texas, the other's in South Dakota. So by the time they're around at the same time, it doesn't happen all that often. So being able to get everybody together, then her family's coming, so we're gonna have a ton of people that we're really close to that we don't get to see very often, all here at the same time.
Yeah, there's 3 things that I'm really excited about. And one of them is obviously getting to see all my family and stuff because they were supposed to come back in town in January because we were having a funeral. But everybody got COVID, so nobody got to come. And so a bunch of our family from out of town is coming too. And so it'll be like a family reunion to see them. And then second thing I'm most excited about is hearing his vows because we're not very lovey-dovey in public, so it's gonna be interesting to hear them and hear him recite them in front of everybody. And I'm excited to hear them because he's a good writer, and so I'm excited to hear what he has to say. And then third thing is walking down the aisle because I don't know how you're gonna react. I don't know if you're gonna cry or not.
I don't know how I'm gonna react, so we'll find out.
Hoping.
A couple more days.
But we'll see.
All right.
Yep.
Define love.
Oh, I think love is selfless, and it's not just like in our society people think it's a fleeting feeling, but I don't necessarily think it's a feeling. I think it's acts of service and how you treat the other person and show up every day and choose them each and every day, no matter how you necessarily feel that day, because you might not always like the person, but if there's like true love there, you can always get through anything together.
Yeah, I think love is more of an action than it is a feeling. Of course, you have that feeling of love, but it's really more, even when you don't feel like being all the lovey-dovey or you don't have those feelings anymore, but you're still choosing to be with that person, to be selfless for them and to give up yourself, I would say.
Yeah.
That would be. I wish we would known about that question before, because we could sit down and spend a lot of time on that.
Yeah, I always think biblical love. Biblical love is the best example of love, and
How Christ loved the church.
Yeah, and if you can reflect that in your marriage and any relationship, I think that's a true example of love.
Yes.
And that's
And
our love story.